Hope you're ready for round two in our 3-day venture here with myself and the Iron Man, Logan Myers. Welcome back, Logan. Hot off the heels of our holiday special last night. Thank you for Bronson Tron coming on once again. What's going on? 205 Live Cruise Control is back in the house. Colin has returned. All is right in the world as advertised. Gentlemen, hope you had a lovely Christmas. And Logan, where can they catch you and all your stuff?
Thank you, Travis, for that nice introduction. Iron Man is actually a really good nickname there to start off my name. But you guys, we are back with another episode of Cruise Control on the Slant Pigs podcast. And check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. Check out Future Wrestling Podcast right there on YouTube. Go search it, like, subscribe, and enjoy. And yeah, like you said, Colin is back, Travis. Colin, how was your Christmas? How are you doing? I know you got to work soon. Where can they check you out and that good shit?
I slept most of the day and did nothing, so I say I had a pretty damn good Christmas. As always, you can check me out on Twitter at UberTieGuy and check me out on James Hebertside's channel at the Pro Wrestling Roundtable, and always check me out on Cruise Control.
You lazy bastard.
I've done nothing wrong.
Well, you're supposed to rest on the holidays. Bastard. It's not like he rested on like just any fucking Monday morning or something while we're all like working. I will say, speaking of James Hebert, be sure to catch right here on the channel Thursday night, a special edition of Hibiki High Spots. Going to have the guys from Weymouth Youth Wrestling on talking about their... I loved it. James linked me it. He busted his ass on this, and it was really well done. Essentially, it's a SmackDown versus Raw show they do commentary on, but going to have those guys on this Thursday. Look for that. And as always, follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD right here, Hibiki TMD on YouTube. Subscribe. Check me out on Kayfabe today, first thing in the morning. And gentlemen, want to make a quite frankly, the biggest announcement ever. Hot off the press today, up in my DMs. We will be featured select episodes live. Look for us now in 2018 on Grapple Vision, and we want to thank everyone involved in that process, from Tonka Saw, MTL Broski, all you guys. Look for future episodes, special episodes of Cruise Control, Slam Pigs Podcast. Never Drew a Dime is coming to Grapple Vision. Look for all of that stuff, and of course, Kayfabe Today, now the home on Grapple Vision and first thing in the morning. So, guys, stoked about that, and thank you once again, Tonka Saw. Get over there, hit subscribe over there. Tonka's a chill dude, and all that good shit. But, gentlemen, the Cruiserweights have come home for the holidays. Night 2 in Chicago after the SmackDown tapings. Cruise Control was tonight. Before we get to that, Logan, the Christmas polls. Were your polls like candy canes this week with stripes and delicious?
Yes, the polls were just actually, honestly, and I'm gonna be nice to Colin during this segment because the poll that I had up last week is insane because for the first time ever, something insane happened. The Cruise Control poll of the week was, who is the most underrated talent in the Cruiserweight division? The 4 selections that was there was Grand Metalik, Mustafa Ali, Jack Gallagher, and Tony Nese. Grand Metalik had 20%. I think he is the most underrated. That's the guy I would pick. Tony Nese at 16%. And guys, before I give the winner of the poll, who did you guys vote for and why?
I voted for Grand Metalik. That was an easy choice for me.
I voted for Tony Nese, but I'd go either way. Honestly, it was down to those two in my decision. Down to the wire, you could say.
It's insane because the 2 guys that we picked, Grand Metalik and Tony Nese, did not win the poll. And for the first time ever on Cruise Control and the first time ever on the poll, Mustafa Ali and Jack Gallagher, 32% tie. For the first time, a tie.
Look at that.
That's insane. I can't believe it. You know, we had over 25 votes on the final result.
Mustafa Ali, I can see more as to why people would want to get behind him. But Jack Gallagher, that kind of baffles me because it seems like, I don't want to say they ruined his character when they put him in draft pants. Like, I'm coming around on it now, like we've all mentioned. I'm starting to like it, but at first it seemed like everyone was like, ugh. So he lost a ton of momentum. So that's a really weird, that is a really weird poll result.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, for the first time ever, it's just, and I get it. I get why fans like Jack Gallagher, whatever you want to call him, this week, because in ring style, he's no matter what anybody says, those headbutts just they're insane. They're vicious. It's as bad as a GTS. Go to sleep.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I know we will get to that. But next week's polls, guys, we have actually we had three of them up. Will Cedric Alexander beat Enzo Amore on Monday Night Raw to become the Cruiserweight Champion? Your selections are yes, no, someone else, should, or whatever. And then when will
That's
WWE
a lot
pull the
of
plug
fucking
on
decisions. That's a lot of tweener fucking answers. I'm just saying.
I know. But when will WWE pull the plug on 205 Live? We've talked about it for months. When will it happen? Should it happen? Whatever. Now you guys get to vote. You guys get to tell us what you guys think. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, should it give it more time or will it happen now? And then should WWE move Tony Nese to the main roster? Yes, no. Should they downright release him or should they move him to NXT? So actually, that's something I want to talk about though, Travis. Tony Nese. Tonight on 205, he had a great match, in my opinion. I think, like we all three said, he is one of those guys that has to be looked at as a good talent and an underrated star.
I mean, how can you not? I mean, look at the guy. Promo-wise, not the best, but I mean, does he need to be a great promo with all the things he can do and the way he looks? I mean, he's completely marketable.
He's this generation's Chris Masters.
The thing I wanted to say about the pulling the plug on 205 Live, I kind of feel like all the ranting we've done, this is our last episode of 2017, by the way, guys. In this year alone, I feel like hindsight's 2020, going back to, the golden era of cruiserweights, like we always talk about WCW cruiserweights. I feel like if the cruiserweights would have had their own show back then, it would have kind of been dull as dishwater too. So I kind of feel like that blend when it was just sprinkled in a Nitro was perfect. And that may be, because I mean, they pulled the plug on 205 Live. It's not like the cruiserweights are going to go away. They'll still be on Raw as long as it's 3 hours. They'll still find something for them to do, I would assume, maybe it's for the better.
I agree. I don't think, honestly, at this point, I don't think 205 Live is salvageable. It's really not going to get any better. I mean, Neville's presumably gone from the Cruiserweight division. Even if he comes back to WWE, he's not going back to the Cruiserweight division.
No.
And at this point, I mean, I'm still enjoying him as champion, but Enzo's basically run the course. So I would like to see them all just be, the show done for. And I mean, I feel like they can still have a cruiserweight division. Just let them wrestle other people. Let them make it the WCW cruise control. Jesus, make it the WCW cruiserweight division. Let them wrestle outside of the division, and things will get better.
Because when you take a guy like that, a cruiserweight, a smaller wrestler, and you branch him out into feuds, matches with bigger guys, it also gives you a chance to see his character fully develop. You get to see all sides as opposed to just like weight class vanilla. He's always wrestling guys his size. You know what I mean? So you get that aspect, and that worked with Rey Mysterio in the Big Show in like 2003 when he put him to the stretcher and Big Show hit him like a baseball bat, which is awesome. Which is one of my favorite spots ever. Shout out to Rey for taking that, by the way. But yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Logan, would you like to see 205 Live still be a show, or do you feel like it is not salvageable, like Colin said at this point, with the stink that it's got? It's borderline like a Divas match and TNA Impact combined, kind of.
I mean, there's some great matches that we've called and talked about on Cruise Control. We have.
Yeah, but TNA, GFW, whatever the fuck you want to call it anymore, they still have really good matches. It just has that stink on it.
Yeah, it's just stink. The booking, the storylines, is you question those things mainly, and that's incredible how we can have the great matches, but it's the one thing that we always ask for is just give us something to like in the booking. Like why are we getting this? Why are we getting that? I mean, it's just, to me, yeah, I understand random matches being put together is not a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing because we also need a story to be told. inside the
Exactly.
inside
You need, bottom line, the most underrated key to a successful wrestling show is a vignette. And that was one of the best parts about the CWC. It's one of the best things about NXT. You get to know these guys. Name more than 5 in the history of 205 Live that they've aired. None. It's been backstage bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like the CWC, literally before every match. Yes, sometimes they would repeat the get to know them vignette, but they were airing them, and that's how we came to get behind a Brian Kendrick with his coming back story and shit like that. You know, I don't know, but I do know this. I have seen your newest poll, Logan, for next week. The first poll of 2018. What is it, Logan? It's already
the newest poll for next week. I thought I already told him. I already said it.
Is Cedric Alexander going to win the title this Monday night?
Yeah, I said, yeah. What do you guys think? You know, I mean, early predictions, early.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Cedric Alexander is gonna win the title next week, or is it too soon? To me, you know, the crazy part is that I had an answer that I put on there is, should it be on a pay-per-view?
Should it be? I mean, I mean, I like the idea of, you know, I like the title changes on pay-per-views and all of that, but I mean, it's you know, it's the first Raw of the new year. They're going to promote it as a big show. And for that, I think, I think Cedric's winning the title next Monday because, you know, new year, it's Monday Night Raw, first one of the year. They want to do something big to, you know, I mean, last Monday they had, you know, Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan win the Raw tag team titles to, you know, shake things up going into the new year. So they'll probably have Cedric Alexander beat Enzo on Monday. That way, you know, it's another shake up. It gets people interested and excited for what's going to happen.
I feel like they should this Monday, and I feel like they kind of will. But the only reason I don't think they will yet is I think this Nia and Enzo thing, they want to stretch it out, and they want to make Nia costing Enzo the title like the end game, I feel like, in that angle, and they're going to hold off. That's the only reason I don't. But I wish they would. It's overdue with Cedric. We all would agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually really like the the Mistletoe segment that they had on Raw the other day. I actually really like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Logan?
To me, you know, the question is, I asked it last week with Bronson. You know, the main thing that we talk about when we mention Cedric Alexander, he's got the in-ring abilities and all that to perform. It's just the promos that can he like back up and be like a Neville? Can he be like an Enzo Amore on the mic? That's the only question that we have to offer right now.
I don't think they would market him that way. I think they would, if they're smart, and I know Adam Pearce is running 205 with Uncle Paul in there and all the fingers in the pots. If they're smart, they don't expose him as that. They just focus on his in-ring more. Kind of like when a Benoit was a champion back in the day, but not that bad. Like, at least let him talk some. Like, they never let Benoit talk, which is why it was so bad when it happened. We'll see. We'll see. If anything, it's nice to see something prominently featured on a holiday episode of Raw. You know what I mean? Plus Brock.
Yeah.
The Mistletoe segment, Colin. God damn it. I wanted to save this for tomorrow night, but fuck it, because I really want to talk about that. The only thing, and it was funny. It got a ha-ha out of me. It kind of reminds me of Eddie in China in a way. Does anybody get that, or is it just me?
Yeah, I get it.
All right. The only thing I didn't like is when Alexa ran in and interrupted. Do you really have to say, I got to talk to you again about the first ever Women's Royal Rumble? Do you have to keep saying first ever? Who would say it like that in real life? Just be like, I want to talk to you about the Rumble. You know what I mean? That was a little, ugh.
No, my favorite thing is it was the one thing I couldn't get past is that when they were both leaning in for the kiss, Enzo was going for that like closed mouth like pucker like thing, but Nia's mouth was wide open like she was about to suck the soul out of his mouth. I was like, I don't know, like if they were to connect, what would have happened? It would have been Nia eating Enzo's face.
Enzo was at the appetizer. She was going for the main course already. That's what that was. But it was also kind of weird that like Alexa, like, You gotta know you see somebody about to kiss. I don't care how fast you're running towards it, and then to run directly between them and wedge yourself. Ugh.
And you have to imagine Enzo probably saw, from a kayfabe standpoint, Enzo probably saw Alexa Bliss at some point.
Well, yeah, she's taller than him. Of course he did. Sorry. So yeah, woof. I tried.
For the Mistletoe segment, it would have been funny if after Nia Jax walked away, a guy like Drew Gulak walks in and they're under the mistletoe together.
I would have liked that if Drew just walks in, just looks up, and just like he gives that just like weird just smile, and then Enzo just walks away.
Yeah.
Or he shrugs his shoulders and he goes for the kiss, and then Enzo just backs up and walks away slowly. Just
if they could have only held off on releasing Darren Young 3 more weeks, could have got one final good send off and skit for him.
Oh, that would have been great.
Oh my god. He just does like the little weird smile while Bob Backlund's like yelling at him and coaching him in the background. Would have been tremendous.
God, I wonder where that storyline would have gone if Darren Young didn't break his elbow.
It would have been even. It would have got me a cheap pop if rest in peace. If after Nia Jax walks away, Mae Young walks in.
Oh, yeah. Mae Young would have been great for that. Yeah.
That would have been a great segment. That would have that would have felt like more of an Attitude Era back in the old days segment. But,
definitely. But speaking of Monday Night Raw, on Christmas Raw, guys, real quick, people that have been on social media and stuff saying, can't believe these guys have to work on the holiday. People giving WWE shit, it's kind of not their fault. This was more of a USA
It's the network.
Fault, right?
It's not WWE that wanted it. It was USA Network that did.
There's that. Plus, I mean, wrestlers, do you feel bad when you're going to get your gas and your cigarettes and your coffee at your local convenience store and those guys are working? Do you boycott their fucking shit? No.
Do NFL fans complain about having a Christmas Day or Thanksgiving?
Of course not. I was gonna say, like, these people complaining that the wrestlers have to work on the Monday are probably the same people who every time it falls on a Sunday, they don't give a shit that the NFL players are, playing the game or, they're watching their basketball.
Well, because that's real. Game. That's competitive, right? That's the excuse you get. Anyway.
Probably.
I will say, gentlemen, we talked a little bit about this last night, Logan, with our buddy Bronson. Wrestling, WWE Raws, and
that wasn't actually where I was going with that. I feel bad because while I was live tweeting Raw as I do, I was only sort of half paying attention at the time, and I look up right as the knee connects, and see, I didn't notice that Hideo had lowered the knee pad. So to me, and because I'm watching on my computer screen because I have to stream it to watch it live, to me, it looked like the worst GTS alive. I thought Hideo's knee was where his knee pad was, and that's not the case. I thought he just missed completely. Like Brian Kendrick, stopped 5 feet in front of Hideo's knee and sold it like he just broke his nose. And I laughed and I tweeted, and I didn't notice I didn't notice the replay either. When they did the slow motion replay, I still didn't notice that his knee actually connected. So I tweet out something along the lines of, I can't believe they slow-moed a horrible botch like that. What the fuck? And then I see the replay again on Twitter the next day of Brian Kendrick's face getting crushed in. And I just reply, I tweet out the gif. I'm just like, I take back my previous statement. The knee certainly connected to Brian Kendrick's face.
And this is the part where I say, hey, Target boy, go get some fucking glasses. Because he did take that knee to the face. And the slow motion, it showed it directly. He didn't just break his nose like John Cena did. It was like literally somebody said there was a picture that came out of Brian Kendrick's face afterwards. I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere, but supposedly his nose was literally 4 times as big as John Cena's was when he broke his nose.
I doubt they're going to rush Kendrick to get emergency overnight surgery. Big match John.
No, but he also had a fractured. What was it, Travis?
It was an orbital socket.
Orbital socket.
Yeah, he fractured that, and that's never good. I've known somebody that's actually had that happen, and yeah, you really got to watch out for that stuff. He's going to be out. I
Reminds
would say a
me in
couple
a
months.
way of, and it was with the ladder, but Joey Mercury's injury, in a way.
Yeah.
Well, Joey Mercury, you can't compare that to Joey Mercury's injury because Joey Mercury literally had his face crushed in.
But it was just like initial thing I thought when I first looked. I was like, oh.
But there was less blood for. It was crazy because it was less blood that from the nose. It was more of it connected more on the eye and all that, and you got to really watch out because that can make you go blind. That can also do some really bad damage to your retina and all that. It can really cause some issues.
And notice how tonight Hideo did not use the GTS on Gallagher.
Yeah, submission, right?
Yep. It was like a weird ass like ground octopus hold. I was confused. I liked it, but I was confused.
Coincidence?
Well, at the end of the day, after the injury and after seeing what happened last night, I will not call him the Brian Fucktard. I'll give him some credit.
We don't have to retire. You don't have to like retire your gimmick just because you got hurt. It's not ballet.
You don't have to retire the hate. Just you can't say that he's never done anything for you.
No, he took a knee to the face. I wish somebody on this fucking show would do that.
On Christmas, he did. Don't ever forget, Logan. I will say, it kind of reminds me of, in a way, because people out with the pitchforks now calling him dangerous. It's like when Joe hurt Tyson Kidd at first, and everybody called Joe sloppy, and it kind of went away after a while. And they changed his They didn't make Joe change his finisher really, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
you don't see the muscle.
Used this he hasn't used the
Muscle
what's
Buster.
it called? Muscle Buster. He hasn't used it on TV like ever.
Yeah, and it would never be used as a finish probably either after that. Yeah, but, yeah.
I think if he does the GTS, he really needs to not put the fucking knee pad down from now on.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to trust him for that spot anymore.
If it comes out in the end that they did make him, in fact, stop using it, kind of like they did with Rollins and the curb stomp because it's too dangerous, you know who's going to have the last laugh in the end is CM Punk sitting at home going, yeah, you dicks.
Oh, yeah, CM Punk's going to be sitting at home just like, suck it.
How does that feel, assholes?
Well, there's your payback for you laughing at me for going 2 minutes in UFC.
Is that balanced? I don't think Punk cares. I think Punk is just happy he did it. I think Punk knew he probably wasn't going to go in. He probably, knew he wasn't going to win going into that fight. And he probably, I would dare say, just from the look at him at the beginning of that fight, he didn't have a lot of confidence on his face. I just think he wanted to get
I think he was just happy to be doing something he'd always wanted to do and accomplish something in life.
Exactly.
I say that like he didn't accomplish a lot in WWE, but like, I guess he'd always wanted to be an MMA fighter, and so he's living the fucking dream doing his thing in the UFC, so I mean...
And like, I was never one of those guys to like come out and laugh at him. Like, I thought it was ironic, but I never like buried him on any show. The only thing I'm saying, like all these jackasses who like just make fun of him up and down, you get out there, you would last a fraction of probably what Punk did. I mean, it's easy.
And hey,
to sit at home.
Brock Lesnar lost his debut in faster than CM Punk did. Punk lasted longer than Lesnar did. So
anything can happen in mixed martial arts. Just that's how it is. Anyone can have a bad day at the office. One mistake. It's a chess game, essentially. Cruise Control 205 Live was this week, Logan. The day after Christmas. The presents were still out. 205 Live had a beautiful winter graphic with all these Google image PNGs that look like they threw together in 2 seconds for the logo this week for the show. What did the show kick off with, Logan?
Well, the show kicked off, basically getting everything prepared for 205 and getting the SmackDown stuff away and, bringing in Nigel McGuinness to commentary, of course. So they started off with the backstage segment. Like usually that's normally what we get now with Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, and I don't see where this is going. Again, we cannot understand why this is the way they're booking.
Well, I'll tell you right now the reason.
It actually.
There's a Madison Square Garden show tonight. Enzo Amore was defending the titles.
Yeah,
he wasn't even there.
Travis, it occurred to me something. It took me a week and a half to realize why they kicked Tony Nese out of the Azo train. It was because Rich Swann got suspended, so now they needed to even out the numbers. And I had a revelation. I was like, oh shit, that's why they did that.
Yeah, yeah, there it is.
I get it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. This segment was weird. It was a little weird to me. I get it. They're trying to like break up the Zoe train. I can't say that ever again. Like that.
They don't care. They don't care what they're booking on the show.
I'd rather fucking say the Polar Express at this point.
Especially a day after Christmas episode, the one day of the year where everyone's fucking exhausted. And there was like probably no creative thought into the booking of 205 Live backstage. Sweet.
No, but I will say though, we the very first match that we started off on 205 was not bad. I want to see more of Jack Gallagher and Hideo Itami. I think those two guys could put on a great match. I think if you do the booking right, this could be a storyline that works. And I think they're going to use the whole injury of Brian Kendrick, which it seemed like that's what they were doing tonight, is use it as a storyline going forward. And it's not a bad idea.
It's actually the perfect idea. Go off the momentum of a real life injury. It's buzzworthy.
Yeah. Yep. And you know how, like I said last night, those are the storylines and that Vince McMahon just loves. So whoever decided to use this as a storyline is maybe got an opinion from Vince and said, hey, this might actually be a good thing. And Vince was like, oh, yeah, blah, blah. That's right, pal. Do it.
How many people were Vince just now? I heard an Italian man and what?
Oh, well, it was Vince.
It was okay. I agree. I want to see more of Gallagher and Itami. I don't care if there's an injury angle or not. I think these guys would probably have great matches if given proper time.
Mm-hmm. I think
I just want them to have the matches they had in the CWC.
Yeah.
We get that. We do get some of those matches.
We don't. We've never even come fucking close to those kind of matches.
Okay. That's where I disagree. That we've gotten some great matches on 205. So I don't know. Do I need to pay for glasses for you, sir? I mean, I swear to you.
I can't name a single match off the top of my head that would live up to the quality that we had in the Cruiserweight Classic. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm wrong, but
fuck you. Let me speak. When the fuck did we hire Kristen back to this fucking show?
Wow.
I can plug my shit properly.
Well, at least you can say your fucking Twitter name.
That's true. And I don't want to suck off Travis, so I mean.
Not that we know. Your Twitter does not convey that the same.
I mean, you would love to do the dick spot with Joey Ryan, so it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
I cannot disagree with you there.
I feel like with Neville there, when Neville was there were a hell of a lot more good matches. I think the thing that makes the CWC matches the better of the two for me was the atmosphere, by far.
Yeah, I mean,
it is the crowd that makes a lot of the matches too.
Exactly.
I mean, we've had some great matches. I mean, look at for an example,
TJP and Rich Swann did have a couple kick-ass matches I remember viewing on 205 Live, but man, I could imagine those matches that in front of Full Sail, they would have been so much better too.
Here's my question. Yes, we're finally Cedric Alexander's getting his opportunity on Monday Night Raw for the Cruiserweight title against Enzo Amore, who, to me, in my opinion, I'm going to call it out and say it right now. I think Cedric Alexander would have a better match against Neville than he will against Enzo Amore.
Well, that's just common knowledge.
I mean, that just part of me, we said it months back I know I have, that Cedric Alexander would have benefited more against Neville when Neville didn't lose to
Speaking of
Akira.
matches and 205 Live and stuff, and looking back in the past year, some of my favorite matches to review this year were like, remember earlier, way back, right when we first started the show, actually. I don't even think Colin was on yet, when Cedric Alexander was just going out and having squash matches with jobbers and just annihilating those fucking guys. And we were like so blown away by how those guys were just taking it and he was just beating their asses. Those were fun.
Yep.
They're not competitive, but it was a good time.
And that's a good shout out to Michael, because Michael has said it before. Some of the matches that have been great and better have been against jobbers, because it
Colin
builds a
Delaney was in
up.
the house last week on 205
Hell
Live.
yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And by the way, I didn't say it. I can't believe I've gone the whole show without saying it. Thank you and Bronson to holding it down last week, pulling 2-man booth. Thought you guys did a kick-ass job.
Thank you. I'll bow for you guys right now. Hang on. Oh, yes, did it. Yep.
Oh, here we go. What else happened on 205 Live?
Stroke that ego.
After the Gallagher and Tommy match, though, which saw Tommy get the Duke, and like you said, we'll probably see that be this little feud right now, the Kickstart feud. I gotta feel like Tommy is gonna end up heel again with the babyface Cedric around Mania time for the title. Why not?
See, that's my question though. To start off talking about Tommy, is he a face or is he heel? We just don't know. We saw him come on and debut, teaming up with Finn Balor against the Mr. Oz and all that and stuff.
He doesn't have enough charisma or you can have the best move set in the world. I don't care, and you can have all the experience, but he needs to be a heel.
Yeah, as a heel, he's by far 10 times better. And in my opinion, Tommy has shown more heelish than face, because respect me. I mean, yeah, as a face, you can say that too and still be a face. But it just, to me, seems more of a heel. I mean, he is, but at the same time, he is facing a heel. So I don't know. Like, it's a question mark.
Like the Riddler. Did this take us to Tony Nese and, what's his face? Akira Tazawa.
Yep, Akira Tazawa and Tony Nese had that backstage, it was an interview, and then he got interrupted. Are you on the train or off the train? And then got knocked the fuck out with a punch. And then they had their match, and I actually enjoyed this match, and that's why I put the poll up this for next week, so that people can vote.
It was all right.
I think.
I mean, it set my world on fire.
Yeah, it didn't set my world on fire either, but at the same time, to me, Tony Nese is so underrated. Like, I think he would benefit more on NXT or the main roster, and besides the cruiserweight champion. I don't see him challenging for that title anytime soon. I don't even see it in 2018 right now. Like, there's just no. To me, he's.
I can see him either popping up in the Rumble or the Andre the Giant Battle Royal as like a tester. Can he make it on the main roster? Let's test the kid. Maybe. He's on the wrong fucking show. That's the problem with him. We say it all the time.
And that's why I put the poll up.
Colin, what do you think of this match, man?
I gotta be honest, not a huge Tony Nese fan. I don't think he's underrated. I'm not gonna say he's overrated, but I don't think he's underrated either. I've never been that impressed by Tony Nese. I wasn't that impressed with him in the Cruiserweight Classic. I haven't been that impressed with him now on 205 Live or Monday Night Raw. And I mean, I don't feel like that's his fault either, because I mean, the Cruiserweight Classic was a long time ago. I might have, liked his match then, but I don't remember it now.
And plus, look at the fucking talent in that tournament.
Exactly. And so, with 205 Live now, it's just like, he hasn't had a chance to really, no one's had a chance to impress that much. And I feel like Tony Nese is the same way.
I really, really, really want to hit you with a go to sleep right now, because that's what you're making me go.
Well, make sure your knee pad is in the right place so he really thinks you hit him in the nose or something.
I'm going to fucking put a brick and wrap it around my knee, so when I hit him, it's going to hit him.
Happy holidays.
You couldn't even lift me.
That's probably true. Actually, I probably could lift you, but I don't think I want to have a hernia.
Hey, Easy on the hernia references, Pally.
See.
I was even going to give you some material to say, like, I could lift you, but I'm so sick of carrying you all the time. But yeah, you wouldn't go that route. You had to insult me. But anyway, let's get back.
I was not insulting you, but I do carry this motherfucker each and every single week.
Anyway, back to reality on planet Earth. I thought the match was decent, like I said, and so Tony Nese. I kind of see where you're coming from, Colin. Promos I don't think is a strong suit. I think he has it's a Lex Luger syndrome and not because of the entrance. And he's far more talented in ring than Lex Luger. But let me explain. Lex Luger's promos were fucking shit. But Lex Luger, when he was allowed to be full blown like heel Lex in WCW and shit, when he was like in front of a crowd performing, was great. Go back the way he fucking taunted an audience and stuff, and the way he would like just flaunt himself on stage during his entrance. Tony Nese has that. He nails that at least. Sometimes that's just as important, if not more, than a promo. I like Nese. I think he's a solid US or IC. I'm not saying put the rocket pack on him anytime soon, but I definitely get the marketability, like I said. But I also can see why people could kind of be soured. And like we said, also, even on 205 Live still, there's a lot of talented guys, so it's easy to kind of be overshadowed in a way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, his mic skills, it's not a strong suit, but maybe he doesn't need to cut promos. I mean, he's not in the title picture, so he doesn't need to cut the promos right now, in my opinion. He's not in, to me, yeah, he's in the storyline with the Zo Train and all, but there's no direct storyline for him right now, besides the fact that what Colin said is that they wanted to even up the numbers, and now he's shying away from that storyline. So there is no storyline for him right now.
Speaking of never having to cut promos, God bless him, Akira Tazawa. I don't care how many times this company's tried to give him an irrelevant title run for one day. He has a habit. His chant is still so fucking over. This crowd they got behind him. As tired as this crowd probably was the day after Christmas, on top of it, a double shot in the same city. Akira Tazawa still had people into the match throughout the whole thing, and it's astonishing they never really went back to that at all. I don't get it. For the title, for the title picture.
His mic skills, maybe. I mean, that's...
Doesn't need it. That's what I'm saying. Look, he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, but that chant is over still. I mean, it can... We've seen guys come and go, and chants come and go all the time. Besides, a guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin with his what chant. But when you have a guy that was relegated from a championship run that was quickly vanished to just where the hell is he, to coming back randomly to just, and his chant's still there and the fans are still behind him, that's a good thing. That's a nice sign. That just hope management backstage sees that.
What do you think on Tazawa, Colin? You on board still, or you just like could care less at this point?
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. He's not a focal point, so I don't give a shit. I liked Tazawa when he was in the title feud with Neville. I liked him when he was with Titus Worldwide. I don't know what the fuck happened to that. I guess that's over with. I hate that he... The thing is, at this point, I wish he just didn't get the title at all, because I think that was just an entirely pointless thing to do. You cock teases with, Tazawa with the belt, and then, a week later he fucking loses it. Like, it was pointless. It was stupid.
Kind of like Rich Swann,
Well, Rich Swann's title run wasn't terrible. But, I mean, all the title runs have gotten overshadowed by Neville. And Enzo at this point. I keep forgetting that Brian Kendrick was the Cruiserweight champion for like a month.
He was?
Yeah. You're right? That's the point. So, I mean,
and another thing, I know you're going to agree with me, Colin. Travis, I know you're going to agree with Neville not being on the show.
Agree with ahead of time. You don't know. Maybe I won't.
Well, I know you're going to agree. Neville being away from the Cruiserweight division and, not being seen is actually a good thing for him. It's also a good thing for the Cruiserweight division right now, because the focal point can be on other people and not just Neville.
He has something
So
that most guys in the industry would die to have. It's called fucking mystique, and nobody knows what's hanging in the balance with Neville. So wherever he goes, his re-debut in any company, it's going to get a lot of views on any platform it's on. It's going to get a lot of buzz. He's sitting pretty right now. Whatever he chooses, if he goes, honestly, never thought there would be a time in wrestling where I'd say if he goes back to WWE, that's probably his worst decision he could make. If he goes to the fucking indie, if he goes like Progress, Ring of Honor, Japan, he'd make a killing right now. People are probably dying to have him. Go back home. Go to Japan. Go make your money.
I still say it'd be a perfect decision to put Neville in the championship run against AJ Styles. I still say that. I still say that is what needs to happen. It should happen. I think they're just holding off right now because maybe he returns at the Rumble. What if?
I don't know.
Could that be it?
It's definitely rose-colored glasses. I do know.
I think Neville will be in the Rumble. I think it'll be like a nice surprise to see him back. I don't know at that point how long he'll stay after that or if he'll work out a deal. But I think for some reason, whether or not they work out a deal for what he's going to do after the fact, I think Neville will be in the Rumble. I think they'll call him and be like, hey, I know we're at some contract dispute, but here's some money. Do you want to be in the Rumble? And I think Neville will say yes.
Well, there was a report that he did have a sit-down conversation and talk with Vince McMahon himself. So you never know.
He had a sit-down conversation with the man who's selling the stock in his company so he can get out. That makes sense.
Well, he did have a sit-down conversation about coming back, but this was like early November, way before Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm sure Vince didn't just wake up that day that it was reported, say, well, I'm going to do it now. I'm sure it was planned for maybe a year ahead of time that he was going to do this.
That's true. That is true.
All I know, if Titus Worldwide is done and they release Apollo, I'm going to do anything and everything in my power.
It's not done. On Monday Night Raw, Titus actually was one of the funnier things I'd seen was they had Bo and Axel going backstage, singing, Mizmas carols and shit like that. And, they gift Goldust a copy of Santa's Little Helper. And, Apollo, Dana Brooke, which I guess is, in Titus Worldwide now because they just like picking obscure people. Dana Brooke, Titus, and, Apollo are walking by and Goldust just screamed, Titus, I got you this gift. And then he walks away and Titus is like, I actually always wanted this. I think that's what he said or something along those lines. And then Goldust turns around, goes right up to Titus's face and just does that like breathe in his face, and Titus just screams and launches the DVD in the back, and it was actually pretty funny.
Well, God damn it. I was going to say if they released him, I was going to try to, pay some money and get him on here and have him be called Apollo Cruise Control, and he could be a host on the show, once or twice. But
I love it.
He's still employed doing Christmas Carol skits. I'm glad about that.
Hang on. Apollo. Why would we want to hire Apollo Crews when we already have a fuck up on the show?
Yeah, come on, Travis.
Why you gotta put me down, Logan? God.
I mean, Apollo Crews. I'd rather have fucking Colin on the show. At least he has mic skills.
I like how one sentence he bashes me, and then the next one he praises me.
Oh, well, I at least gotta say that you are better than Kristen or Apollo Crews. So, man, that's a pretty bad.
I'm not going to deny that. Apollo, fight me at WrestleMania on the pre-show. Winner gets the spot on the show. Let's do this.
Apollo Crews is the only guy who get on a fucking podcast and smile the whole time. Wouldn't say a word. You just sit there, fucking smile. That's what you get. You get what you pay for. Fucking. Anyway, main event time. 205 Live this week, guys. Tag match. The hometown kid, Mustafa Ali. I totally forgot about that until Cedric announced it and their promo coming out against Gulak, the Zotran, Gulak, and your favorite Ari Daivari. Last match on Cruise Control 2017 of the year, guys. This is how they went off. It was all right. I mean, this could have been on a house show, honestly. A Chicago house show, and, that was based around Mustafa being the hometown boy, but, nice spots. It was what it was. I feel like we've seen this match 20 times, but whatever. That's how they went off the air.
Yep, we did. We also had this match on Raw in a Christmas, whatever match you want to call it.
A Christmas whatever match.
Whatever match. That's how I feel about that match.
The New Day and Aiden English and Rusev is the best Christmas themed match of all time, by the way, from last week. It was so good.
That match was fantastic.
I hate that every year during the Christmas episode of Raw or SmackDown or whatever the fuck, they always have a Miracle on 34th Street fight, but there's always a story behind it. This year there was none. They were just like, fuck it, we're gonna stick them. It was a tag team match, but they abided by the tag team rules, even though it was a street fight. So I mean,
it should have been
whatever.
Tornado tag team in the least. You know?
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's dumb.
I mean, because it's everything goes. I mean, why do they have to tag in? Why does the referee
it's not
tell them
everything
to get back
goes.
to the corner?
That sounds weird. It's anything goes. Everything goes makes it sound perverted. I don't know why.
Well, I'm just saying. But still, like, you get my point, though. I mean, why would when the referee was telling them to get back to their corner, I'm like, anything goes. Why the fuck are you telling them what to do? Are you serious?
God, you guys heard at the beginning of the show, I love Gulak's new theme. It's down to business. It's go time to hear that shit.
I like Gallagher's new theme too. Like,
yeah.
His heel
Oh
theme
my god,
great.
so good, so good. What did you guys think of the match though in general?
It was all right.
It was rushed.
See, that's kind of the reoccurring theme I'm finding with every 205 Live episode I watch. It's all right. It's nothing that blows me out of the water. It's nothing
the
that's
meh era. # meh.
Pretty much.
Era. Yeah. You can't really disagree with that. That's just, this show is the standard for mediocrity. That's what it has come down to, basically. This is Sunday Night Heat 2017, Logan.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just no Raven or Maven or any of those guys from back then.
It was. This tag team match is basically just what we got on Raw, just thrown together randomly. They didn't have, like you said in the beginning of the show, like they were just like, oh, fuck this, it's whatever, go ahead, do whatever. That's how it feels, and that's not what. If you really want to keep 205 Live alive, you don't do this. You have to book it right. You have to. Every week you wanna one up the week prior, you know?
The sad part is about this, I feel like they thought they were booking this right. I feel like they do think they're booking it right, and that's scary sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's such this old school mentality they love to do, this build up. You know, he's got a title match soon, so throw out a filler tag match with him and one of his buddies, and he'll get over and it'll mean nothing. But you keep doing that all the time, and it nullifies everything because it's see-through, it's formulaic, you know. But in a way, though, that's kind of pro wrestling. It's kind of like a double-edged sword kind of thing. Sometimes you need that, you know, to get a guy over. I feel like this was just, they didn't think a lot of people were going to be watching either, because this is the tail end of the day after Christmas. You know what I mean? Who knows? I will say this, on the fly, on the spot, guys, little mini promo right here. Cruise Control 2017, the year looking back, a little mini year-end awards show here, getting ready for tomorrow night, Logan. What do you guys, who is your 205 Live wrestler, the Cruiserweight of the year in WWE? Start with Colin.
I feel like if anyone's answer isn't Neville, then they need to leave the show, because it was Neville, hands down, no question.
Logan.
Neville. No doubt about it, Neville.
It's really tough to argue. I'm saying TJP. No, I'm just kidding. It's Neville. It's got. If you're right,
Travis,
Neville,
you're fired.
Just get out of the room. Basically, if Drew Gulak has got to be. If we did a breakthrough, I got to go Gulak.
Yeah, Drew Gulak would definitely be like a breakout star.
Also, one more right here. Your guy, and I know we just talked about. There's not a lot to stick out, but if anything, your Cruiserweight match of the year, Logan, for 2017.
Oh, that's a good one. Neville and Austin Aries. Any of them.
son of a bitch. You took my. I'm gonna say the third one they had. The very last one was probably my match of the year in the cruiserweight division. Colin.
I would go with either of the Aries and Neville matches, but I also recall Gallagher versus Neville from the Rumble in January being very good. So I would say it's between that or any of the Austin Aries Neville matches.
Honorable mention for me too. I remember there was a Grand Metalik and Jack Gallagher match that was tremendous, and it sticks out to me this year. It's really good. That's my honorable mention. Worst moment of 205 Live this year. Hot Fire Logan Myers. What's on your list that sucked ass?
There's a lot. I have a good one. 205 Live completely.
Colin, what shit the bed in your mind?
Oh God.
With the most
How do I
sting.
pick one? Honestly, I can't tell you. It was a boring year, honestly. There wasn't a whole lot to be excited about as far as 205 Live is concerned, and as far as all that. I mean, I can tell you some shocking moments and just like, what the fuck was that? But other than that, I can't think of anything that was just like god awful, just like horrible. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing that I can't think of anything just completely horrible, but
I have two in my mind. Do you remember the promo Brian Kendrick cut on Jack Gallagher where they photoshopped clown makeup on him?
No, I think I skipped that episode, but from the sound of that, it sounds
I remember that.
I was right.
And the other one for me, how could we live our lives without the red hot Noam Dar, Alicia Fox, Cedric Alexander love triangle in our lives? We got Sasha Banks making appearances, Rich Swann being involved for no fucking reason. What a time it was. So thank you, WWE, for ruining the name.
One more thing? Can I say one more thing, though, Travis?
Of course.
I know this is off topic and all, but when we say something negative about booking, another guy that is not on 205 Live in the Cruiserweight division,
Lindsay Dorado! Was it Lindsay?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes, he is one. He is one, and Dillinger.
Oh, poor Dillinger. Poor.
Well, I mean, he gets to date Peyton Royce. He's not doing too bad for himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a winner as far as that's concerned.
Other than that, that's this year's final episode of Cruise Control. And it wasn't planned. Our very first episode of next year will be our 25th episode, our next milestone episode. So look for that. Hope everyone has a great new year. Colin, thank you, my man, for coming aboard this year, man, and making the show so much better. One more time, where can everyone catch you and all that good shit?
I spaced out for a second. I think I'm supposed to plug myself at this point. So,
complimented you and everything, you fucking prick. And you zoned out.
I did. I'm sorry. At UberTieGuy on Twitter. I live tweet Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever I'm doing with my life. Just always on Twitter. Check me out on Shea Hebertside 95 channel, where you can check me out on the Pro Wrestling Roundtable podcast. As always, check me out right here on Slam Pigs Cruise Control.
The man of the hour likes his chicken nuggets with sweet and sour. The prince of pepperonis, the harbinger of habaneros, the red hot fire of Cheetos. And Logan Myers, man, you started this show with me. Who would have thought 25 episodes later going into the new year, we'd still be going strong talking about the cruiserweights, but we have.
Yes, we have, and I'm still here, still doing it, but you guys can check me out on Twitter at Logan Myers144, and also go look on Future Wrestling Podcast right there on YouTube. Go like, subscribe, and enjoy.
And of course, thank you to everyone that's been on the show this year, from Bronson Shawn, James Hebert, I believe, was on an episode or two this year. Everyone, thank you guys for listening every week, and hope you guys have a great new year once again. As always, Once again, check me on Twitter at the HibickyTMD. Right, subscribe down below. HibickyTMD. All that good shit. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Be safe. Until next week, guys, this has been Cruise Control. See you then.
You're soft, you're sloppy. They calling me Poppy. I'm rolling in bands, you riding around and I beat up jalopy. They don't. Bros wanna copy, but they are just not on me. I'm up in the club, stacking them dubs and stuffing a lot. I'm hot like sauce. You soft like balsa. You ain't heard of me? Well, you probably are. Ask about me. Nice to meet you. So good to see you. Bros wanna act hard, they need to take it easy. Cause you soft. Cause you soft. I don't. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. I don't. I look good when I'm ready. Don't. You're soft like spaghetti. I'm walking the walk, talking the talk, calling you soft. I'm a club connoisseur. See me out on the floor.
And you getting jelly the way all these girls be up in the roar.
What's up, man? You need a slap of the chin. Be soft as a sin. Bada bing, bada boom. Don't make me say it again.
Nice to meet you. So good to see you.
Bros wanna act hard, they need to take it easy.
Soft.